What up, naughty steppers? It's Connor Whitmore here again with another review for you on the Nawtystep channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the new collaborative project between Never Say Die's Black label and Savage Society Records, Black Ops XL. This is the fourth Black Ops compilation to come from Never Say Die Records' sister imprint Black label. Following Black Ops 1, 2 and 3 compilations that included tracks from artists such as J Phelpz, Xaebor and Ponicz, arriving 10 months after number 3 and this time in collaboration with up-and-coming dubstep label Savage Society. Responsible for bringing the likes of Blood Thinners, Ganon, Definitive and many others further into the dubstep limelight. And when you realise that some of the other artists featured on the first 3 Black Ops compilations are part of the Savage Society family too, it's almost surprising that this compilation wasn't done earlier, the affiliation between these two labels being an undeniably strong one. With Blood Thinners, Definitive, Ganon and Savage Maze all having their say on Black Ops compilations prior to XL, which features those 4 and 6 other aspiring, predominantly RIDDIM producers. Now, whilst I am an undoubted dubstep lover through and through, that which is the main inspiration for Nawtystep altogether, I must admit that I'm yet to be fully swayed and drawn in by the RIDDIM genre. There are songs of that style and structure that I love, but I wouldn't say it's a go-to type of music for me yet in terms of general dubstep listening. Meaning I had a slight trepidation going into this album as to whether I would like it or not because of how RIDDIM heavy it would be, but to be honest, I found myself pleasantly surprised here. At least, in saying that, I'm noting on the fact that every track here has something really going for it, in my opinion. Some more so than others, for instance the opener from Triller entitled Playcard. A brilliantly jumpy, skittish banger that brings together circus-like synths and grand musicality to give it quite the epic appeal. A seriously riveting track, such a good way to introduce the album. Love the way the piano tones it down at the end too, in preparation for the following 9 cuts. Also of particular note for me would be the Tokes track, Slay 'em. Succeeding an alluring introduction with some of the swampiest, muddiest sounds I've heard in a fair while. Love all the twists and turns this one goes through, and the sound design is noticeably on point, giving listeners the impression that they'll never be able to extricate themselves from this quagmire. Those two for me having the most going for them of the 10, but as I said earlier, there are parts to every song here that really catch the ear. On the melody front, tracks 7 and 8 from Subfiltronic and Ben's Mixer respectively do really well to lure listeners in from the very start. In Subfiltronic's Level Up, the vocal complements the fruity instrumental to create a really snappy, to-the-point opening few seconds, whilst in Ben's Mixer's Way Back, the introduction, and whenever it returns, possesses a soothing charm thanks to its colourful and kind direction. The problem for me with these two tracks being the dubstep itself, dragging a bit and bereft of enough flavour and life to make them stand out amongst the rest here. In Level Up, I feel like not enough space is filled, whilst in Way Back, the overall sound could have had more definition to it to make it pop more. Tracks in which the dubstep works better for me lie, for example, in the Blood Thinners contribution, Morse Code. Very mechanical, industrial and windy, with an infectious bounce, runs the risk of becoming a bit too incessant because it just gives you more and more and more, but revives itself somewhat in the second drop. A wonderful acidic release that displays shiny, shimmering RIDDIM at its near best. That leaves us with 5 tracks, the selling points of which don't reveal themselves as easily, but which are vital in giving their songs that much needed flair. Definitive's Blackout formula, a grungy mix of metal guitar sounds and wiry dubstep synths, drones on a bit without enough variation either sonically or structurally. But the way these sounds are executed, glaring yet with a simultaneous distance from the audience, is a very astute delivery that I think is hard to get right and is done with aplomb here. In Ganon's Roots Travel, we have RIDDIM at arguably its most blinding, screechy, full-on and in-your-face, making for quite a manic number overall, but those jarring, reverby moments are a really nice motif for this track whenever they come in, the most pleasant sort of disorientation. whilst the tunes from Blank Face, Savage Maze and Decimate are for me all about the general feel of them as opposed to specific sounds or effects per se. Blank Face's The Chopping Jack needs clear work on the percussion. Said this before with Blood Thinners, but a bit more sharpness here would make the track pop and snap a lot more. But having said that, this is a very playful tune. The violin-led intro, the sprightly build, the almost comical nature of the synths in the drops make for an enjoyable listen overall. Track number 6 from Savage Maze, who to my knowledge co-owns Savage Society, is a properly squelchy one with loads of oozy, earthy sounds going on. The EQing of which isn't too evident and could have done with more refining, but there are some neat touches throughout and the general energy and flow of it works a treat in its heaviest parts. Something which I could also say for the closer, Frog Bass from Decimate. Again, there's something about the percussion that doesn't quite pop, meaning that the full heaviness of the track isn't felt. But the force and rhythm to this one is great, and there are some really seamless transitions and changes in tempo to give it an electrifying feel as the album draws to a close. So overall, do I come out of listening to Black Ops XL as a devout RIDDIM lover? Probably not, but following this I'm definitely warming to it much more as a style of music. There's such a fantastic wealth of sounds on show here. I must be wary, however, that with this collection in particular, we really are talking about the cream of the crop. So I can't hop on SoundCloud tomorrow and expect all RIDDIM music to be of this quality. No, the near exact opposite is much nearer to the truth, unfortunately. Which is why I think I haven't warmed to it as much, having listened to so much of it that is of a mediocre quality. But having listened to Black Ops XL multiple times now, I definitely feel as if I have more appreciation for it as a genre and what it wants to deliver both structurally and sonically. As I've said, this album has its better and worse moments, but for me personally, the aim was to come out of this thing hoping to enjoy RIDDIM a bit more generally. And it's certainly done the job on that front. I won't be seeking it out more than usual, but I'll understand it differently thanks to this compilation. After all, there are thousands if not millions of people out there who love it, so it's all about getting to grips with why that is, and not just shunning it because I may not like it on the surface. I may not enjoy it as much as other forms of dubstep, but that's what makes me want to delve into it deeper, and realise in turn what it is that's getting everyone behind this movement raving. And this album I feel will be hugely appreciated within that community for a while yet. We consume so much music now, but for lovers of RIDDIM, Black Ops XL is special. A one-off collaboration between two of the most impactful labels the subgenre has to offer. Will we see it again? Probably not for a while. So bask in this release and enjoy it for what it is, because it could end up being one of a kind. We'll just have to wait and see. It's also a fantastic bit of exposure for all artists involved here, so props to Never Say Die for making this happen alongside Savage Society, giving them a platform to show exactly why RIDDIM will rule for the foreseeable future in the underground dubstep scene. Now, in terms of a favourite from Black Ops XL, I think I would have to go with Play Card by Triller. Closest to a more bro-step oriented track in my opinion, got that mad energy and skittishness, dramatic musicality too, things which I love in dubstep music. And in terms of recommendations, I would look at a load of other Black Label EPs, from Xaebor to Ponicz, Ganon to Ominous, and beyond. And so that is that for another review on the Nawtystep channel, this time of the new collaborative compilation between Never Say Die's Black Label and Savage Society Records, Black Ops XL. Thank you very much, and as always, for tuning in. Be sure to leave a comment with your thoughts on Black Ops XL. What did you guys make of it? Do you have a favourite track of the 10? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell along the way. For some other Black Label reviews on the channel, check out the link next to my head somewhere. Don't forget to like and follow Nawtystep across social media, links to which, including all of the recommendations, are in the description box down below. And lastly, if it's naughty, then you know guys, so be sure as always to keep it naughty and stay safe. And I shall see all of you legends in the next one. Peace out.